at the wisdom talk. The topic that I pick up today is, what if we know how the defilement works? In fact, we are surrounded by defilement, and we don't realize that we are surrounded by the defilement. Many things that defilement keep doing on earth, we don't realize that. We think that it's come from our thought, ourselves, but many kind of evil thoughts generated by the defilement to make, keep sending in our thoughts, our mind. Okay, my name is Manchayanand. Let's look at the mind. Our mind. Our mind is a kind of pure energy. It's a kind of pure energy that we cannot see, that cannot hear, cannot touch it. But it's there. On the other side, the defilement is also a kind of pure energy that keep working, sending the defilement to us. And the pure energy and the pure energy can communicate with each other without using our physical body. And how can they work? The evil thoughts are the signal streams sent by defilement into our mind. They communicate, pure energy and pure energy can communicate each other. But the defilement keeps sending evil thoughts to our mind. So our mind is stimulated by the evil thoughts from defilement. And our body controlled by the brain. And our mind is the one who makes decision, then send order to the brain through the consciousness. The mind and the brain communicate by the consciousness. That's why when we fall asleep and go into the deep sleep, our consciousness is gone. That means the communication means of communication is gone away. So the mind and the body cannot connect with each other while we sleep. So the body, the The brain controls every part of the body. It works like a operating system of the computer, control every part of the computer. The brain control every part of the body. But everything that the body sends to our eyes, to our ears, to our nose, to our tongue, to our feeling of touching, is sent to the mind. And those information is recorded in the mind. And the mind is the one who makes decisions and command the brain to react. So the brain controls every part of the body. For example, if somebody comes to you and slap in your face, you feel that you are being slapped, you get hurt. And those information is sent to the mind. And the mind will make decision. If the mind may say, hey, hit it back. Or the mind may say, okay, let him go. Just forgive them. Send to the brain control. If you're doing nothing, the brain doing nothing. See, this is how the brain, the body, and the mind work together. Let's see the whole process that it works together. So the body controlled by the brain. The mind make decision, then send order to the brain through the consciousness. Our mind stimulated by thoughts from defilement, evil thought from defilement, but other kind of thoughts, the mind will recall from the memory of the mind and order the brain. But evil thoughts are sent by the defilement into our mind. So so defilements generate evil thought. Okay, the defilement generates evil thoughts and send the evil thought to our mind, and our mind send the order to our brain to control the body. This is how the whole process. So it more or less the same as the carpetier control the carpet by pulling the string. The defilement as a puppeteer to control the mind. And the mind is the puppeteer to control the brain. And the brain work like puppeteer to control the whole body. So the one who work behind the scene on the bad side of the scene, it's defilement. And And, you know, defilement works all the time. The defilement works all the time. But once in a while, or sometime, a virtuous friend will come and help us to think of good things, to do good deed. But on the other side, the defilement works all the time. So we should realize that. The important thing is that we do not know and we do not see the evil trick of defilement. Defilement tends to influence us to think negatively and make us feel rejoice in those negative thoughts. We don't realize that it is negative thought, but it makes us to feel rejoice in those negative thoughts. They deceive us into thinking that we are content with and appreciate what we do. We don't realize, but make us feel appreciate what we do, even if it's negatively. When defilement create negative thoughts into our mind, the way to overcome it is to stop those thoughts or use your own judgment before making decision. You know, when some thought pop up to your mind, consider that, reconsider that, and make a judgment by your own, and then send to the brain. So this is the way to stop the evil thought. But it's hard because sometimes we don't know which one is created by the defilement or your own decision. In order to do so, our minds must be still, calm, and conscious. Still, calm, and conscious. So the way that the best way to make our mind still, calm, and be conscious is practicing meditation regularly. It is not easy as long as the foundation of our minds is lacking in benevolence. For example, loving kindness, compassion, and sympathetic joy. This is the stepping stone to obtain benevolence. Loving kindness, compassion, and sympathetic joy by giving without expecting anything in return. will help make your mind soft and think about the generosity to, to give something away without expect anything in return. Forgive to forget. If you cannot forgive, you keep memorizing that. Every time that your spare time or time to practice meditation, it pop up those things that you cannot forgive, that keep bothering you. Observing precept, not to kill, not to steal, not to do adultery, not to tell a lie, not to consume a high degree of alcohol or drugs. And the profound one is to practice meditation regularly. The process of practicing meditation make your mind still, make your mind calm. You can eliminate those evil thoughts, because when your mind still getting still, the power of your mind come back. You regain the power of your mind, and that power will consider that which one is negative thought, which one is positive thought. If our minds confuse something, we will consider the negative thought as the positive thought. You know, we always think to find a way to think, but we never think to find a way to stop thinking. See, it's true. It's true. I noticed that many people think to find the way to think, how to think, but never think that find a way to stop thinking, to still your mind, to stop thinking. That's very important. That make you feel still, feel happy, and if you can stop thinking. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very much for listening to the wisdom talk. I hope it's very useful for you, for your own daily life.